All right, what is up? It is like noon right now. I literally woke up like half an hour ago. Well, we're literally gonna go to the lot right now and do a couple of things to the car. Firstly, it rained yesterday for the first time in like 3 months or something, which is good actually. Mainly because we got to check to see if the paint held up on the windshield wipers that we put on last time. So we're gonna be able to see it today, see what it looks like. And then I'm definitely gonna put a third and fourth coat. Got everything I need. Bunch of cardboard. I brought newspaper this time, so we're a lot more prepared. We made it. So let's see where we're at. We just put all this down and we can get started. Actually, you can see it better in the camera than I can in person. So the new wipers are on. I don't know if I mentioned this already, maybe not. New wipers are on. The old ones were absolute trash. So we got those on, and now I'm just gonna do another like third or fourth coat because it's a little bit thin in some areas, so we're gonna fix that a little bit. Unfortunately this year I'm not at Tokyo Auto Salon. I was last year, but this year it's currently going right now. I think today's what, the 14th 15th, so I think today's the last day of Tokyo Auto Salon. I've been watching some other streamers and YouTubers filming videos of that, but sadly this year I'm not there just because Makahari Messe, where the event is being held in Chiba, is a little bit far away from here, so it would take like 5 or 6 hours for me to drive there. I did it last year because my aunt and uncle live in like 10 minutes away from Makahari Messe, so I stayed with them last year, but this year I decided not to go just because of cost reasons. Freeway tolls and everything like that are just hella expensive here, so not worth it this year. But I did mention to you guys that instead of going to Tokyo Auto Salon this year, decided to go to a different event that's happening in, I think it's March 26th, I believe it is, in Odaiba. I'm going to the Itasha car show. I've never been to an event like that ever in my life. I've been to 2 car shows ever in my life, and last year was Tokyo Auto Salon. But this Itasha car show that I'm going to will be the first time I'm ever seeing something like this in my life. So if you're there, March 26th, Odaiba, next to Fuji Terebi, the TV station building. I think it's really famous. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. I'll be there, so yeah, we'll check that out. I'm definitely gonna film a video for sure. All right, so I got the car back in the location where we did this last time. Now we get a good look at what this actually looks like after it rained last night. And this has been on here for about a week or so. It's not bad, but if you look really carefully, you guys see the paint's really thin in some areas, or just not even. So I'm gonna go over at least one more coat. I'm gonna do the same thing as we did last time. I'm gonna stop somewhere here just because it'd be kind of difficult for me to paint that area since I can't take these off, or I don't know how to take these off. So I'm gonna do the same thing as last time, but we have more cardboard and finally have newspaper this time, so I'll be able to cover the car a lot better. So should do that. And then yeah, the new wipers look so much better. I used the Glaco brand, so much better than the OEM ones that were on here. They were horrible and they were covered in rust and everything like that. So this looks so much better. The car looks so much cleaner now. So hopefully we can fix this paint right now and yeah, cover up the whole car and get started. So let's go. Why does this look even more sketchy than last time? I don't know what the heck it is. I'm using like twice as much material this time. We even have newspaper and everything, but why does it look worse than the last time we did it? I think I'm covering more area though, which is good. Just gonna have to cover up some gaps a little bit. I'm a little concerned about here. I do have like one more piece of cardboard that I could possibly use, so I'll probably try and stick this on wherever the heck I can. And yeah, I'll probably just like put it here somewhere, and then we'll get started somewhere up here maybe. I don't know, but we'll get started. All right, same thing as last time. We're gonna be using this and just do about the third and fourth coat, then we should be good. So let's get started. All right, third coat's done. Hopefully this looks a lot more even, and it actually looks so much better too. Like it's actually covering the middle this time. So I think this time around, the paint actually has something to stick to, which is the previous paint that we put on, so that's good. So I believe it should look a lot better. I'm definitely gonna do a fourth coat though, just to be sure, just to be safe. But this looks so good. I'm gonna see if later I can kind of fix this area here that we messed up last time. Just put a bit more paint here to even it out a bit. Other than that though, not bad, not bad. I'll give this like another 5 minutes or so. We've really got nothing else to do. I did kind of like dry wash the car last time, but yeah, it did rain. So when everything dries up here, it's gonna get all dusty and all grimy again. All that little like dirt patches and stuff like that is gonna start collecting on the car, especially like the rims. Like this is a disaster. Look at that, all that rust and iron and stuff like that. Definitely gotta clean this out if we have time later. We gotta wait a couple more minutes, let that dry a little bit. It looks so much better though. I did miss a spot here kind of, but it's okay. The fourth coat will get it, and that should be enough after that. Otherwise, I think we're pretty good. I have one thing on the list that we can do, and it involves removing the light from there. So I gotta figure out what kind of light we need. I'm pretty sure I have a screwdriver on me, so I can pry this off. So apparently, whatever we need is whatever the heck that is. I have no idea what the heck that is or what those bulbs are called. But that's what we need. So I'm probably gonna have to measure it because I'm sure there are different sizes and everything. But right now, yeah, it's currently, oops, there we go. It's currently amber, so we definitely want to swap that to white because everything else in the car is completely white. So definitely want to color match this, I guess you call it. So definitely gonna have to do, I'm gonna pull that out and measure it and everything. We still gotta figure out how to take the front bumper off. But the one thing I know is this grill has to come off first. And I've tried doing it once, but for some reason, it's either really seized on because the previous owners probably never removed it or cleaned it or anything like that. So it's probably been sitting there for 12 years. Or there are a couple like bolts or something that's still holding on to it. But out of the research that I've done, there's like 2 bolts on the top and you're just supposed to be able to pull it up. But last time I tried doing that, it absolutely wouldn't budge, so I'm not really sure. But that's the first thing that's got to come off if we want to take the bumper off so I can paint this grill. I would love to do that. But aside from that, of course, we're trying to find a replacement for this because I want to get rid of this. Kind of like the one that we found at Up Garage for the Hiace, kind of like that style, but obviously it needs to fit on this car. So definitely want to replace this because you can see a crack right there. And I'm afraid that at one point water is going to start getting into there. So all right, I think we're good to go for a fourth coat. All the cardboard is still there. It's kind of like flying off. It's kind of windy today, so I think we're good to go. So let's do the final fourth coat, and that should be enough, honestly. Should be enough. It's kind of hard to tell actually. I might do a little bit more here right now actually before this dries up. But other than that, I think we're okay. And we're done. This looks so good. Definitely a third and fourth coat made all the difference. It's not perfect, obviously. It's a DIY like that, for example, but that's from last time. But still, this looks like it's brand new now. Super good, super good. Not bad. So you can see the difference here before and after. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that, but that's fine. I don't really care. It's a DIY project, so it's perfectly fine. But yeah, you can definitely tell a big difference between how it was before. Basically, when I bought the car, it was like this, like how horrible this was. And now, how it looks after, with the third and fourth coat of paint, new wipers on the car. Doesn't look like a junkyard car anymore, thank God. This looks like it's brand new now. All right, we got some time to kill. I'm not in the mood to clean the rims today, so it'll take some time, super messy work. So let's just walk around, see if we can do some car spotting or something. Actually, I can tell you guys a story about how I got the Kei-Wagon actually, and the story behind what led me to end up getting it, and a story of the car that I previously had, which I didn't really tell anyone, to be honest, mainly because I only owned that car for like a month. And yeah, yeah, the story behind it, it's pretty weird. But I guess I'll tell you guys what exactly happened. So I guess it was like 3 years ago. If you guys didn't know, I don't live in Tokyo. I live in Shizuoka. And in Shizuoka, you definitely need a car. It's like living in North America. You need a car, or you got to take the bus everywhere. Walking and biking is not really as convenient here. Holy crap, that's a nice house. Anyways, okay, so I had to get a car, and I've always been a car person my whole life. So I wanted to get something. My original plan after moving to Japan, car-wise, was to get something that you couldn't get in North America. So, you know, certain types of sports cars, anything like that, right? And then obviously a K car of any kind, because as you all know, K cars don't exist outside of Japan. So my plan was to do what most people do when they come to Japan for automotive things, is to buy a sports car, an old Japanese sports car. And 3 years ago, it was possible to get something. Nowadays, it's pretty much impossible because of the prices and stuff like that. We all know what's happening to the market with those kind of cars, all those old JDM sports cars. But my original plan was to, unbelievably, save up for an FD RX-7, which that plan fell short immediately. We all know what happened in terms of value to those things, so that fell short. So then I thought to myself, okay, what's something I could physically afford and actually be like a realistic car that I could own? What is it called? The K sports car category, because obviously, as you guys know, K cars are underpowered. They're super small, so they're usually more affordable. So I was like, you know what? There's a couple of options when it comes to a car like that. So it was either the ones that I was willing to get was either a Honda Beat or a Honda S660. So I found a Honda Beat pretty close to this area, actually, a really good condition one. I think if I can show it to you guys, I'll put a photo right here. So I think I still have a photo of it. Super nice condition. I think it had like 60,000 kilometers. The paint was redone. The previous owner took really well care of the car. He was like apparently he was like a collector or something. I'm not sure why he sold the car, but he was a collector. He redid everything on the car perfectly nicely. All the timing belts, the water pump, everything was redone on the car, and everything was really good. But the one reason why I didn't buy it is because my parents were concerned that the car had no airbags. So, because y'all know it's like a 30-year-old car or something now. So my parents were like, yeah, you're definitely not buying that. Even though in Japan, every car is really tiny here, so it's a lot safer to drive, because and the speed limits are really low. My parents were like, you are absolutely not buying that car. So that fell short. But I did go look at it, and I'll be honest, that Honda Beat was the very first sports car that I ever sat in my life. I'll be honest, I've never before that. So it was kind of a good experience, actually. And then I had to look for another car, and I found out about a Honda S660. So I was looking online, but they're like, for what they are, they're really expensive. But then I ended up finding one. It was like a 2-hour drive away at a Honda dealership. So I ended up going to look at it because it was like 5 or 6 people on the waiting list to see it. But I got priority because I was the first one to call in and ask if I could come see the car. And yeah, I bought it. I did. So for the first month, or I should say for a month, I owned that car. It was manual. It was a 5-speed. I don't remember what they are, 5 or 6-speed manual. Honda S660, super tiny car, 660cc engine, stuff like that. But yeah, it was probably the most unreliable car in terms of the most common things. I'm talking like storage space, you know, seating capacity. It was only a 2-seater. There was no trunk in the car. It was a mid-rear engine, so there's no trunk, no front, no nothing. But it was a convertible, so a roadster. Super fun car. Only weighed like 1,700 pounds or something like that. And then yeah, after about a month, I traded it. Now, the reason behind why I did that is because that car was actually the first manual car that I've ever owned in my life and ever sat in my life. So because I live in Japan, I had to teach myself how to drive manual in a country where you're not supposed to do that. You're actually supposed to like take classes and stuff like that and get like a professional to teach you. But because I already know how to drive, it would have been such a huge waste of money for me to do that. So I got my dad to actually teach me, but I ran into a lot of problems when it came to learning to drive manual, and that involved the police, security guards, and people just yelling at me for stalling the car in the middle of the road. Because as you can tell, as we're walking everywhere, all these roads are all like one-way streets and single lane. So can you imagine stalling and there's like 20 cars behind you? Yeah, that's not very good. So it kind of made me like anxious or like nervous and stuff like that. So it was kind of hard for me to learn to drive manual, because the only place where I could have done that was to actually drive the car completely out of the city, somewhere in the middle of nowhere. But there isn't really anywhere to do that here, because I'm literally living right in the middle of this city. So yeah, so unfortunately, after a month or so, I unfortunately gave up, which was really disappointing to me, but gave up with that, and I ended up selling the car. So then I found, I think it was online somewhere, where I found out about the Stingray that I currently have, and but it was not anywhere near me, because I was specifically looking for the 4th gen, so which meant I only had like a small selection to choose from. So I was looking online, and I ended up finding one. It was in really good condition, low kilometers. I had exactly 40,000 kilometers on it. But the problem was I couldn't see it in person because it was actually really far away from here. It was in Kobe Prefecture, so I had to ship the car over here. And after seeing it in person, it was in a little bit of worse condition than the photos actually showed and all the description and everything. So, but it was okay. I mean, nothing was horribly wrong with it, obviously, but it definitely did not live up to the standards of what all the paperwork and photos said. It said the car wasn't smoked in, but there definitely is a cigarette burn in the driver's seat, and the interior is just a little, you can tell that it's like used, like it's worn, but they stated that the car interior wise was like in almost new condition. But anyways, so that's a bit of a story about how I ended up with that thing. Go for a little bit of a walk. There's a chimney right there. Super worn out license plate. Oh, and it's got the original plate as well. So the 2-number plate. So the owner of that car has probably owned that thing for like, I don't know, a good 15, 20 years maybe. On the top of a Japanese license plate, there'll be like these 3 numbers, like small numbers. In the past, I'm talking like in the 90s and 80s, I guess, they used to only have 2 numbers. So if you ever see a car with a license plate that has only 2 numbers on the very top, like the small numbers, then chances are the owner of that car has owned that thing for at least 15 to 20 years, I believe it is. And that Jimny had in that license plate was really worn out too. So original license plate. Oh, this is what I'm talking about, those plates. That's what I'm trying to get. That's one of the things on the list that we're trying to get. One of those white license plate with the yellow frame. If you like donate money and stuff like that, and then pay like $100 deposit or something like that, then you can get one of those custom license plates. That's what I'm trying to get. At some point this year we will get it. Let's see. Let's just keep walking around here. I don't think there'll be too much car spotting to do. Yeah, I'm definitely never gonna own anything in the JDM, like super JDM drift-ish category, old Japanese sports car. It's never gonna happen. There's no way. Every year prices just keep skyrocketing. More and more of the JDM cars from the 90s are becoming import legal and export legal to the US, so prices are just going to keep going up. It's never going to change. It's never going to go back down. So that's why I say if you don't already have one of them, and chances are you're not ever going to get into it. It's already too late. But that's fine. There are other directions you can go. I think more and more people are getting into like modifying K cars and racing them as well. So that's kind of the direction we're going now. What the heck? I don't know what that is. Some really old K van. I have no idea what that. Oh, it has an old license plate too. It's one of those double numbers. And why are we seeing so many of those today? So that thing must be pretty old. One day we'll definitely. Oh, Stasia. There you go. I don't know what kind of Stasia that was though. I've never seen that body style. I think that's like the first. That's possibly the first car that we've seen that was worth filming. Aside from my own car, which pretty much has nothing done to it so far. But we'll walk a little bit more. I want to find something interesting worth filming. Like all these little tiny K cars and everything. See, these are both Wagon Rs, but they look a little bit different. The body styles are a bit different than what we have. Other than that, though, there's not much else. Oh, there's another one over there, another Wagon R. Majority of cars are just boring K cars. There's another Wagon R over there. That's one of the newer ones. Super, super ugly in my opinion. The taillights, body, everything about it is just really weird. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna find anything. Oh, what is that? Is that that's a Supra, I think. Is it? Yeah, there's a yellow Supra there. Can I walk through that? We'll go around. We'll see it from the front. We'll go right here and then we'll go back. Ah, there it is, there it is. Holy crap. Dude, that looks so good in yellow. Oh, it's Mark 5 Supra. They made these in manual now, eh? At least I heard. So people that bought like the first gen, man, they're probably crying right now. I don't know what most of the people are doing with first gens now. That's pretty cool. In the motherland to see something like that just naturally. Maybe that's something interesting for you guys. That's literally the most interesting thing here, aside from a very loud smart car. It sounds like it's what is it called? What is it called when people drill their mufflers? What is that called? Either that or it was like poorly straight piped. I don't know. But it didn't sound too good. Okay. I thought I would film this street because actually let me show you guys the right angle and then you might know what I'm talking about in just a second. From somewhere here, this direction. And kneel down a little bit. Tell me if you guys recognize this. Probably none of you will get it. Not unless you're following me on Instagram. So this is where I took one of the photos. One of the night photos that I took was like actually right here. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, then just go on my Instagram and you'll probably be able to find a photo. All right, it's not really anything else in this area except for this. What the heck is this? This car looks like it looks like a Jeep, but it's like really squished. Super clean though. Very low to the ground too. I don't know what the heck that is. That's kind of cool though. Oh, there's a... Is that a Honda Life Dunk? It looks a little different than I remember it. I don't know if that was actually one. Those are super rare now too. They're super, super old. I think I'm done. I think I'll end the video here. We didn't find too much and there was honestly not really much to do with the Kei-Wagon today. Just had to do some repainting, that's about it. But aside from that, not really anything. We could just keep walking around, but we're not gonna find anything too interesting. So in about a week and a half or so. I'm gonna try and see if I can take you guys to one of the other up garages in my city, because I'll be in that area for an event. So we'll see. If I can try and film there, I will. But aside from that, March 26th, one of the big events, I guess I should say, for this channel. I'm gonna be heading out to Odaiba on the 26th of March for the Itasha car meet. Hopefully I can make it to that. If so, then I definitely will film that whole thing, because I think that'll be really interesting. And I've never been to an event like that in my life, so that'll be something different for sure, but perfect for this channel. So definitely hit that place up. Hopefully I can make it. And yeah, for now, that's pretty much the plan, aside from getting everything done on the list for the Kei-Wagon, which will happen over the time or over the course of this year. So yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys possibly at Up Garage for the next video. So for now, we'll see you guys next time. じゃあね, thanks for watching. See ya.